The bishop. I almost forgot the bishop. Okay. Lord Jesus. Quickly. So two things with the bishop. Three things. One, the man who robbed them. Okay. Because y'all know the robbery. You know, I forgot to celebrate the second anniversary. The second anniversary was last month. I forgot because my daddy died. Okay. Anyway, but Bishop Robbery, the two remaining robbers who are, locked up or whatever, they're awaiting trial and stuff. The lawyer for one of them said, the lawyer for Saquon Pollock said, look, okay, judge, because Bishop was around here and he was arrested, okay, for crimes and stuff. He had his own crimes going on. I feel like my client should get a lighter sentence because the bling bling Bishop is also a career con man and liar. Like, not that my client should get off. Like, he shouldn't get off. But there should be some. I was like, I have never heard of someone saying, well, I mean, my client robbed somebody who was already scamming. So I just feel like, my client should get a. I was like, sir, I don't think that's how it works. I don't think that, not at all. Now, it's hilarious because, look, toss everything at it. Okay. Man wrote a 6-page letter to the judge. Okay. The arrest, the trial, and conviction of Bishop Robbery. Okay. There should be some consideration to not get as much time. I'm just saying, don't get as much. I said, bitch, what? Now, also, I know Bishop Robbery had applied to get a new trial. The judge and them said no. No, not at all. That ain't gonna happen. Okay. Denied. Okay, so he was already denied an appeal. Okay. Denied. No. So he gonna be in there, y'all. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna find where he at. I'm gonna write him a letter. Okay, I'm gonna write him a letter. Let's see if Bishop Robbery right. I don't write prison. Let's see if Bishop Robbery writes me back. Okay, I just wonder. But yeah, he was denied a new trial, and then also him and Tasha K. Okay, Tasha K scores huge $360 million win against Bishop Robbery. Child, he was really out here bling Bishop. Okay, bling. This is him in April before he went to jail. Okay, Tasha K, and I'm reading this from hiphop.com. Tasha K is someone who was blah 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 the win for that. Whitehead was suing Tasha K for defamation as well as invasion of privacy. He was seeking $360 million in damages and was claiming that Tasha, was lying about him. When she's talking about how he purchased that expensive ass house, how he ain't had no money, okay, and because Bishop is in prison, the judge ruled in Tasha's favor, okay. Judge found her statements to be fair report privilege. Okay, the judge also noted that some of the statements was proved in court. How are you going to sue somebody for $360 million for defamation when you are going to court, sir? And in court, it proved that you did not have no money and you did kind of get that house fraudulently. You proved her case. So now Tasha may still owe Cardi B $4 million, okay? But she do not owe Bishop Robbery $360 million, okay? The case was dismissed and Tasha won. And she need to win, okay? Because again, she still owe that lady her money, but she do not owe him his. Everybody he sued, his case don't get the case will be dismissed. Okay? Because he was guilty. Okay. Now let's lastly quickly, because it won't be long, y'all. Because I thought I'd be done by now. Q did an interview, okay, which I was writing so small. Lord Jesus. Y'all be trying my best to get stuff done. And where's my... Oh, I got to make stuff bigger so I can see it, y'all. Because y'all know I can't see stuff. I can't. Child, y'all never update y'all stuff. Because then when you get here, you're not going to know how to fix shit. Okay, I don't know how to fix nothing around here. But, Q and Carlos. Okay. This is how I always see Carlos. Laughing too much and laughing too loud. Okay. Too much and too loud. Okay. This was actually a very good interview that he did with Q. I feel like most of the stuff I knew, even him talking about his past, his family as when he was younger, he was, him being a young gay boy in Miami, how he used his mouth to, to be his weapon and stuff. I feel like all of that was a great conversation. Him opening up about his dad, how he used to date older men and he stopped dating older men and stuff. For me, the juicy part of what he was saying, it really was the stuff about TGIF. I told y'all the only reason I started YouTube was because I was a fan of Funky Dineva. And when I would see his video, I'm like, I can do that. I can do this. And that's what really got me to wanting to do YouTube. Okay. So I think seeing or realizing where Funky was back then and where he is now, he really has built up his brands. Even over the past, let's say 5 years, he's built it to bigger and better than what it was before. So my little y'all go watch the thing. How long is? Let me see. Because I watched it like when it was live or whatever. So I don't even know. Let's see how long it was. Child, is it? Where is the thing? It's an hour and 49 minutes. It's an hour and 49 minutes. And he talks about even where he started, Sheree suing him because the whole shack of Sheree child with him when Funky and Michelle Brown was outside Sheree house in the dirt with a dang dildo reviewing her house being built. I remember his old Atlanta Housewife reviews. That's back when Funky would not be on camera without his wigs. Okay, the wigs and the lipstick. And if you realize now, he don't do that no more. And I remember a time when he said, I have to transition from Funky Dineva to Quentin to Q. And I think sometime before he would still slide into the wig funky persona. And now he doesn't. He does it now. It has to be a good, messy, petty reason for him to do that. But he also, I think now he is secure in his cuteness and his funky naiveness, and he doesn't need the wig or the lipstick anymore. So that's great, great, great. But if you recall how he used to be, how he used to review, he is more focused, even though sometimes he ain't. But he is more business focused. He seems more comfortable in his craft. And that is why a lot of YouTubers don't shit on him. But y'all know sometimes he says stuff that aggravates us. However, seeing his growth and knowing in the back of my head he ain't trying to be malicious, he just sometimes says some bullshit. But that's why a lot of us don't really throw him away, because we know how it is. You know what I'm saying? We don't always have to agree with his opinions, but we always respect him the same way he respects us. My first note, because I won't try to go watch it, but let's discuss some things, okay? He talked about, because they got to the TGIF part of everything, and he brought up how Claudia, because remember Claudia said how Al was talking, because he basically spread, gave tea on Claudia, Al, the show, and that kind of stuff. And he said, now Claudia had mentioned that Al was talking about her, and she found out via screenshot. Now, I always felt like the Q accidentally show her something, but Q said no. My lip look weird. He said no. The Claudia got a screenshot from Mimi. Got a screenshot from Mimi that showed Al saying something negative about Claudia. Now, y'all know Mimi and Al are good friends, or if they were, child. So the fact that Q was saying Claudia got that information from Nene Leakes, which means Nene Leakes is messy. He said Claudia got a screenshot from Nene Leakes showing Al saying some negative things. That's what caused the rift between Claudia and Al. Okay, because Claudia found out things that Al, and that stuff that Claudia said on her live after the whole thing happened, that's also stuff that was in Armon's roast to Al. Okay, when Carlos asked, "Well, is Al a diva? Is Al the issue?" Now, Funky did not throw Al up under the bus at all. He also, because he said, in response to that, he said Al was not a diva while on the show. He said, actually, Al was the most insecure of them three, because he said that was Al's first time in that kind of role, being on a talk show. He said that's why Al always had notes. He said because Al was nervous and insecure about doing the job, if folks would like him, if it would, carry over well or whatever. So Al was always trying to make sure he had the shit he had to have, okay? And I said, well, I guess that makes sense. But he said, Al was the most insecure. That Al would always have the notes and be worried about what people thought about him on the show and how he worked on the show. He said, but Al overall is a good person, a good, cool person. And Carlos said he's cool or whatever too. I feel like Q did not want to toss any shade or blame verbatim on Al. However, I do feel like him saying, well, Nene showed Claudia shit Al said. To me, that was his way of saying, well, Al did say some things. Thank you, Keisha, for the super chat. Did he say from any of that it was a screenshot of a account? He said verbatim, Claudia got a screenshot from Nene Leakes. Claudia got a screenshot from Nene. Now, that don't mean that Nene told. That's probably what he was told. Okay, either way, he said Claudia got a screenshot from Nene Leakes showing that was showing Al saying some negative things. So, that's what that was. So to me, that was a way of saying Al was saying some messy shit to other people. Okay. He also brought up how if the right thing came up, he would work with them again because they had a great time. This is a big thing. When it's fun, it's fun. When it's fun and when it works, it's fun. He was like, when it was working, it was working. We had a great thing. So if the right thing came along and it was the right way, I would go back to work with them. Okay. But he also brought up how he walked away because, child, one, he said, not to me, all Funky did was elaborate on stuff he already told us. I feel like I would have said all this on my own platform. However, he and Carlos are friends, so it kind of makes sense that he just elaborated on what he had already told us, okay? He said, one, I walked away from the show because I did not feel valued. He said, and he said all of this before. Y'all know before they went to 5 days a week, when they were just 2 days a week, they were getting paid $12.50 per show. He said once they took them to 5 days a week, they took them down from $12.50 per day to $1,000 per day. He said, so for him, he like, if y'all paying us $12.50 per day for 2 days, why are we getting paid less time to do more work? He said, I wanted to walk then. He said he was gonna walk then. He said, but they basically convinced him, hey, don't do a year contract, do 6 months. Okay. At the end of 6 months, you know what I'm saying? Then we shall see. Okay. Well, try to work it out. Okay. He said at the end of the 6 months, he still wanted to get back that $12.50 per show. They did not want to budge. So he basically left because one, I don't feel valued. And two, y'all playing with me over a little bit of money. He said he was like, I want the $12.50 per show, which is $1,250 per show. If y'all can't do that, okay, cool. Put me on your health benefits. Give me health insurance. And they still said no. He said at that point, he like, y'all won't pay me the little $250 extra. Again, $250 per show. Y'all won't put me on the health insurance. I'm walking. And he again made it clear he said if I work, I make roughly $50,000 per month on YouTube. He said if I don't do much on YouTube, I'll make about $30,000 a month on YouTube. Let me let y'all know the average YouTuber, most of us average YouTubers are not making $30,000 or $3,000 per month. Okay, Funky Dineva has really worked and made a name, a brand, a lane, and a following for himself. We're all trying to get. Well, I'm speaking for myself. I am trying to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Because once you're making 30 grand per month on YouTube, I would absolutely quit my job. Because at that point, I can afford all my bills and I can afford the same good health insurance. Now I'm getting to my regular job. But the reason I still work my regular job is because I have amazing benefits. And if you are a YouTuber, there are no YouTuber benefits, healthcare shit. You pay all that shit out of pocket. I ain't giving up my $20 copay through my good ass Blue Cat network, through my job. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, not gonna do it. So a lot of YouTubers are not making that. You see Funky's numbers. Okay, you know what I'm saying? So most of us are trying to get to. That's why when I say once it knocks you out the algorithm, it sucks because your numbers are affected and you make less money. You want to get to a point to where that no longer happens. You know what I'm saying? So him like, no, if I when I work all the time, like on real, I'm making 50 grand a month. And that's just in what he makes on YouTube. Y'all know Funky charges the people who come on the show, like I think like maybe either $1,500 or $2,500 for a spot on the show. But he do that because he know his worth. He know if you come on my show, bitch, you're gonna make money. So pay me an entrance fee. So if he's making 30 grand a month, 30 to 50 grand a month with the YouTube ad revenue, okay, he's making good. He can afford whatever. So he was like, I don't have to be here. I can make more on my. He said, I realized I can make more on my own. I can make more on my own. Period. So I left because I did not feel valued. I asked us to be paid the same $12.50 per show. We were getting paid when it was 1 to 2 shows a week. They said no to that, and they also said no to putting me on the health care. I said, it makes sense to me. Because Funky was building the platform. He also admitted that yes, I was being messy when I went ahead and was going live at the same time they were, because I was being messy and petty. I was. He said, but also it made sense. That he said the majority of the views over there were my people. And that's true. Al didn't have no people. And Claudia barely had people. You know what I'm saying? Most people were watching because of Funky, because he was already a YouTuber. You know what I'm saying? So he said it made sense for me. Like I'm already used to being on live at 8 p.m. Why would I not just keep doing the shit and do it that way? I said, child, that's true. But he said, I was being messy. Absolutely. He said, absolutely. But it made sense. He also said that when he was leaving, he said, I don't really know Armon like that. But I told him, hey, this is what to do. He's like, I gave him all of the tools he would need to make it over there. This is what you do. This is what you don't do. Don't trust that person. It's when you have a new job, you want someone to tell you the ins and outs, the pitfalls, and what to watch out for. You want somebody to genuinely tell you, hey, if you want to make it here, these are the tricks of the trade. He said, I gave him all that shit. And he went over there and fucked it up. He said, I do feel like Armon, somebody, he didn't say who. He said, I do feel like Armon had a battery put in his back. He said, because the roast Armon did, the stuff he said was personal shit, roast shit. More importantly, stuff that happened when Armon wasn't even working there. So how do you know? How are you saying things in a roast about Al that happened when you weren't even there? Meaning people told you stuff about him. Somebody, and that's the definition of somebody put a battery in your back. Battery in your back does not mean someone told you go do this. What it means is somebody gives you the information to use at your leisure. That's a definition of what it means when someone says something with a battery in their back. It means you gave the person the perfect ammunition to do what you know they would do. So Funky's saying the stuff Armon was saying was stuff that happens and he wasn't even there. You were saying things that happened when you did not even work there. So how would you know? Even him saying, the text that Claudia saw of Al talking shit allegedly with Nene had happened a while ago. They had got over it. That wasn't anything that had freshly happened. So he said Armon brought up old shit that happened when he wasn't even there. Someone put a battery in his back and he ran with it. Okay. He said Armon was a factor, not the factor, but he was a factor to why the show got canceled. He said, why? Because there's on no planet where you can do that to your coworker and shit is fine on Monday. You can't roast your coworker like that on Thursday and think by Monday, oh, we'll be fine. Nah, bitch. No. Okay, he was like, so in his opinion, Armon was, and that roast was a reason for the show being canceled. He said Armon was immature. He needed. Now he also said Armon is talented. Armon could be up next and blah 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 bloop. Okay, he said, however, Armon has some growing to do. Okay, he was immature. He went over there and fucked the things up. Okay, there was no coming back from that roast. He said there was no coming back from that roast. I like how Carlos King told Funky, well, kudos to you, because when Al called you pissed, you tried to warn him, which shows y'all have a friendship. Because he like, why you mad, girl? Had it been me, bitch? Okay, but I'm not. A friend of mine, I would have been the same way. He said, yeah, but you tried to like warn him, like, no, I'm on live. I'm on live. Okay. And it kind of show how business wise Funky was trying to not let that information get out, but it got out. Even him saying how he gave Armon the tools to use to have that show be successful, and Armon just did not do it. Because he like, I could have came back. I could have like Portia and took a season off and came back later, but now the fucking show canceled. So he said, well, what did you first think when you heard the show was canceled? Funky said, I felt vindicated. He said, because had they just gave me my things, had they just paid me the little bit I was asking for, the show could have grew and grew and grew. He said, so the show being canceled just 6 months after I left, a part of me felt vindicated because you had a good thing. Y'all were being stingy, did not want to pay me, did not want to work things out with me. And now look at you, the show canceled. I said, it's true. He said, but for me, the show was canceled and ended over some dumb shit. I said, that's true as well. I did not even realize it was roughly 6 months after Funky had left that the show literally was canceled. Funky also spoke on Morning Sky Young about how back in the day, when he was trying to make it, y'all know he had his ups and downs, child. But when he brought up how when Mona and Mona and Love and Hip Hop or whatever, at first they were gonna pay him to use some of his content, and how Mona kind of switched, said, well, no, we're gonna pay him. How about we have him come to the show? He said Mona be on some bullshit. I said, child, we heard about Mona. However, just hearing how hard things were for him back then, and now how he's making $50,000 a month. Now, I take it, that's before taxes. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, he is still at a point as a YouTuber where that's where I want to be. Okay. But he's taken, the past 13 years to build himself up. So even like he asked him, Because Funky said how he doesn't really watch other YouTubers. But you know, I think a lot of people don't know that a lot of YouTubers sometimes we don't watch each other. Mainly because we all talk about the same things. So I no longer, one, I don't watch my own videos back. Like he doesn't either. I really don't watch many YouTubers now. The only people I watch for sure, I watch It's Rocks because I love her gossip stuff. But she don't do much stuff. You know what I'm saying? I do watch It's Rocks, and I watch Ashley's What It Is. That's really the only people I watch because I'm like we all kind of do the same thing. So, and if someone does like a special whatever, like a video of something else, I'll do that. But you know, most YouTubers don't really watch other YouTubers on any regular basis. But he said he doesn't watch people at all. He said because I never want to be influenced by what I'm watching, and I learned that too. So that's why now I really don't like watching other people because you can easily pick up how they talk, what they say, and you don't want their opinions in your brain. You know, so most of us either don't watch the other people at all, or we will have to watch their stuff after we've done our own takes on things. So he does that too. He did not, to my recollection, mention how he and Claudia is now at all. He and Al are still friends. Cool. Him and Carlos are friends as well. You know. He brought up how he wants. Well, one, he brought up how he's moving to Atlanta, moving back to Atlanta. I felt he was doing that when he was complaining about how much stuff costs in Miami, and I just always felt like he was gonna move back to Atlanta. He wants to do a late night, like syndicated nighttime talk show. He said that would be better done in Atlanta. His man lives in Atlanta, so he's gonna move to Atlanta for the man as well. He will be back there sometime in September. And he's been his man, he's been with him for a year. The black man in the corporate world. When he said I left Atlanta the first time because I lost my way. I had to go back home to Florida to get my shit together. I had to find peace and grow up and focus on work. And if you just remember where he was when he was in Atlanta. You know, that all that shit with Michelle Brown, all that shit that happened. He is admitting saying I was just in a bad way. You know, and I had to go home, just kind of recollect myself, get my shit together, get back focused. And his channel is much better now. He's thriving now. He's very productive now. He's trying different things now. He's on to a different level now. And that's amazing to see for one. And, you know, I think people don't get how hard being a YouTuber is, even on my little level. So I can imagine how hard it is on his big ass level. You know what I'm saying? Trying to, you know, get a following and have folks watch you, no matter what you talk about. Like, that takes so much time and effort or whatever. And so I commend him for being able to recognize he had to get it together. Okay. And stuff. Okay. And him saying, like, I had to come home. But now my things are in order. I'm moving back to Atlanta to do this and that and whatever. He also spoke a little bit about being labeled as a gay black man who hates on black women. Now, I don't feel like Funky hates black women. I don't. Now, do I feel like sometimes he goes too far? Absolutely. But he also said that as well. He brought up how he said, I get how people can think that. He said, but if you think about the content I review, he like there's not much. That's not many shows that have men, like gay men or white men. Like, most shows are black women, and so that's who's on the show. He brought up how I've also talked cash about other people, but you know, sometimes that's what folks don't care about. He brought up how, you know, he said I don't. He said even him and Chloe, but he's like, I don't I never know which person people are protecting. You know what I'm saying? He said, so I'll say something about somebody who they say it was, is who I'll say something about somebody who they'll say is like innocent, like with Chloe. He said, I don't know who they're protecting this time or the other. But he did say, yes, sometimes I do go too far. When he goes too far, I check him. What I mean by that is, if he goes too far, I will say something. I do not believe Funky Dineva as a person hates Black women. I think Funky Dineva as a person sometimes goes too far in his critiques and his jokes and his rants about whatever. Because he feel like I'm just talking. But he also said, sometimes I do go too far, just wrong. Whatever. But sometimes he, child, I don't think he hates Black women. I don't. But I do agree that sometimes he goes too far. But those are two different things. There's sometimes chill out. Okay. Overall, though, in my opinion, it was like a 2-hour thing. It was a good interview. You know what I'm saying? I still suggest y'all go watch it, and stuff. But I enjoyed it. I watched it on like double the speed to get past the some stuff that I already knew. And I cut it on like regular speed towards the end. But his T on TGIF, I agree with. I do feel like, again, if Al sent some messy shit to whoever else and Claudia saw it, bad Al. If Claudia, allegedly, or whoever, was telling Armon shit that made Armon go and do that roast, bad that person. And Armon doing that roast was the nail in the coffin. It really was. It is what it is.